The idea is that we must reduce the tax burdens on individuals and companies. Right now, because of all these commitments that we have in the country, we must tax the few that are able to pay the taxes. The idea is that as we collect more as a percentage of GDP, taxes should also be lowered. That's the intention of the government. With that intention, though, it's not possible right now for all of us to say income tax pushes 10 or 15%. Because we'll fail to pay teachers, we'll fail to pay doctors, we'll fail to mend even the few roads that we're able to do. So if you want, on one hand, we'll be doing experiments, make tax, lower taxes where it is possible, to encourage more growth. Growth goes up. What do we do next? We also find ways of lowering the taxes. So that is the intention of the government. We want to lower taxes, but this must come through growth. Otherwise, we'll be pretending that we are lowering taxes, and yet we fail to do the basic services. So that is basically the idea of government. This government grow the economy, collect more taxes, and lower the tax burdens of the individuals and the companies. So that's the basic principle that we are operating from. As I said, I think for me, my colleagues who are here, our task this afternoon is to listen to you. So, Mr. Chairman and colleagues, please talk to us.
This meeting will bring to light several of the challenges manufacturers are facing. I, however, urge us all to view these more than challenges, seeing them for the opportunity that they are. It is in resolving these hindrances that our aspirations, not only for manufacturing but also for improved living standards, will be met.
We just want priorities given again to public procurement. We've talked about reduction of VAT. This is just a summary, so when it comes to your office, they're able to see exactly what we want. On the DTS side, we want to find a win-win solution that works for the manufacturers and works for government. Digital tax stamps in terms of revenue collection and illicit trade, and in terms of curbing smuggling, is a key fundamental factor, but it has to work for manufacturing and it has to work for government. There are solutions that are out there that we can talk about.
I'd like to close by making these recommendations that we make agricultural products and equipment, processing equipment VAT exempt. This will encourage value addition. We rescind the forest levies, and they were not enforced until 2 years ago. And I think that's because they recognize that they are irrational, but 2 years ago they started to enforce them. We need to go back. We can't grow a company that way. We can't grow a sector that way. And if possible, if we can rescind the district council levies, this will allow us as a sector to reinvest and to grow this in a rather fragile environment. In our fragile environment, we have a choice. We can use the local multiplier effect to grow our local economy, or we can levy us out of existence.
We really have to make sure that the TVET, skills development, and many other elements that are pushes to initiatives are really given the utmost attention that they require, because you'll find every corner now is a university. We are really shunning technical schools that are really pivotal to the manufacturing side of things.
At the moment, the income tax allows mining companies who earn more than 75% of their revenue in foreign currency to prepare their financials in US dollars. That helps them to avoid a lot of exchange losses in an environment where the currency fluctuates a lot, as is the case in the recent past. So our appeal is, why can't that exemption be extended as well to other bigger exporters who meet the threshold of 75% foreign earnings. In that way, the accounting obviously will be much better for exporters like ourselves.
On behalf of the plastic industry and packaging sector, we are thankful to ZAM to allow us to address the real burning issue. Development of plastic as allied segment has increased manifold in the recent period and helped provide great employment opportunities within the country. However, there are major concerns which I would like to address, which is the main concern for local manufacturing companies in this sector. Importation of fabric rolls for PP woven fabric from the neighboring countries and also from the outside the continent, dumping the substandard product at an extreme cheap prices. The PP woven fabric is covered under HSN code 575407-2090. There's already a 15% custom duty and 16% VAT on this product. The industry is facing a challenge from dumping low prices imports from SADC COMESA where duty does not apply. To protect the industry, Honourable Minister, we as manufacturer would request introducing a 20% SGS on the importation of fabric from outside Zambia, including SADC and COMESA countries.
Someone importing a finished product doesn't pay any duties, any VATs. But myself producing a product here, I have to pay VAT on all my raw materials. The VAT causes a problem as we don't get the VAT refunds back on time, creating a cash flow issue. And when they do come, it comes with an exchange loss on the books. With regards to duties, yes, SI 110 is there to assist on certain duties, but unfortunately, not on everything. And SI 110 is not the solution if you want to grow this sector. I think it's very unfair for the imported product to be more beneficial in terms of taxation than the locally manufactured product.
Zambia is the only country amongst the major producers of milk that has its VAT on milk exempt. So what that means is that even though milk is exempt, but the packaging material that we use for packaging of milk, we actually import it from Germany, and then that import VAT which we pay, we can't claim it. So on the international market, it is advantageous as it makes our milk competitive. So our request that we do consider the VAT policy on milk. The other thing which is surprising is that imported juices are actually cheaper than the locally manufactured juices. So it's so surprising, and the only suspicion I can make it could be probably our import tax policies need to be reviewed to make sure that the local products are more competitive compared to imported ones.
All I'm asking for is there's an SI in place, was referred to earlier, regarding healthcare being banned. We're seeing a proliferation of it. It's destroying my business, but we believe government is missing out on a huge amount of tax revenue. There was a Euromonitor study done which estimates a packed beer business to be about 1 billion litres a year. If you take your 25 and where, there should be 250 million kwacha worth of duties. I don't believe this is the case. We're just asking your good ministry to please look at it. There is a ban in place. We've engaged new ministries, but we believe finance is the ministry that is getting the worst, the raw end of the stick here, because you're not getting your taxes. So please can you look at that for us? Thank you so much.
Echoing partly what you said, Honourable Minister, around increasing the tax net, we would want to drive for a reduction around excise duty on baked beer. What we noted is that the increase to 25 and per litre actually has an effect of increasing players' propensity to go outside of the tax net as a survival tactic. We also see that it's alienating consumers because this is the economy segment, and the economy segment is very price sensitive. So I think it's something that needs to be looked at to be able to capture more people within the legal realm.
Currently,
I'm paying 18 kwacha in weight per litre on canned beer, and opaque beer 25 in weight. Zambia breweries, I don't know, and it's not about me, it's about us as a small industry. We want to grow. And if we can get tax threshold that will help small breweries, more small craft breweries will grow and the industry will grow. But currently, as it is, I'm running at 30% of my production and paying an average of 700,000 kwacha a year myself. So we're just asking for help. We've got papers with you, and we have that.
Local content. Definitely, we believe that the incentives should be applied to maize, sorghum, barley, and cassava that we use in our products. I'd like to talk about excise stability, particularly on clear beer, of course. And just to mention, it has been brought up that stability is key to attracting investment. So we would recommend a 3 to 5 year cycle. And that's been proved in other jurisdictions to combat illicit alcohol and to improve growth. And in your own words, Minister, lowering excise rates does only help prove it and lead to growth for the Treasury, growth for our business and for the economy at large. One thing that has not been mentioned is combating illicit alcohol, and we believe that there are certain measures that are in your power and Honourable Minister to put in place. We will submit to you in more detail in another forum, but I would say more stringent measures on registration of ethanol importers.
Tasks that we're carrying out in the field, it does come with a lot of expenses, and obviously on our side we could really use the refunded funds to take this further. Thank you very much.
We really have and will continue to engage with the Ministry of Finance, and subsequent to this, I know that the Ministry is preparing the green paper for the medium-term budget plan, and we look forward to the opportunity once again to be the first association to engage with the Ministry on that particular paper. I know that you've heard from industry, you've heard the various positions that we've put forward as an association, as individual sectors. But just to reiterate on behalf of the association, that we will continue to support the efforts of the Ministry of Finance in enhancing domestic revenue mobilization, economic transformation, job creation, and also in amendments to tax policy that will see the accelerated growth not only of our sector, but the sustainable development of this country as a whole.
We certainly hope you've seen from the submissions the potential that we're trying to express as the manufacturing sector. We hope we can realize that potential through some what we would call maybe some brave and specific interventions that are required to help the sector grow, but also to help some specific sectors within the manufacturing arena to actually survive.
So please compile all these submissions and let's save them, then we can go through them between now and mid-September. Lastly, I would want to say that you think about it, also think about it, how to be effective in terms of follow-up. Because in some of these cases that you presented, there may be follow-up questions that we will require. So we will think about that and make a proposal, but we are also at liberty to make proposals. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for the interest that you've shown in this. Thank you so much indeed. Wish everybody.